the day of every girl and every boy who have raised their voice for their rights.
Good morning. Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to the program. Good morning, St. Lucia. Vibes at sunrise. My name is Shannon Lebourne. On this Friday, November the 18th, TGIF, we're wishing you and yours the very best today. Thank you so very much for waking up and joining us on this Free Up Friday edition of the program. We drop the tire and tone things down a bit. Here's what's coming up on this edition of the program. As Saint Lucia gets set for International Children's Day this coming Sunday, we will discuss facilitating holistic growth and development towards a child-friendly future. Here is your invitation to remain with us from now until 9. Let's end the week and look ahead to the weekend the right way with today's edition of Pray for Saint Lucia. Our presenter, Captain Wousdel Louis of the Salvation Army.
Everyone, I am Captain Wousdel Louis from the Salvation Army. Today it is a privilege for me to be on this platform to pray with you. The Bible says in Philippians chapter 4, verse 6, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God. This morning I want to pray with you. I want to pray for you. And I will ask you to put yourself available as we can pray together. Let us pray. Dear God, Heavenly Father, this morning we give you thanks. Thank you for today. Thank you, Lord, because you allowed us to be on this platform, on this show, TV show, to pray for the nation of Saint Lucia. Lord, there is a lot of things happening in those days. Lord, I ask you, Lord, to do your will. Lord, I ask you to do your will in our lives. Please, Lord, we give you thanks for the people who gathered together and makes this show happen. And we do believe that you are with us. You are the only one that we can count on. We count on you, Lord. We give thanks for your grace and your mercy. Lord, I ask you this morning to be with every one of us. Bless the people of St. Lucia. Bless the young people. Direct them. Direct their path. Help them to understand you are God. Lord, I ask you to bless the adult. Bless, Lord, the government. Bless the leaders on this of this country. Bless the reverends. Bless the priests. Lord, I ask you to bless the Christian, the non-Christian, Lord. I ask you to be with them. Lord, as I present this show to you, Lord, TV show, Good Morning Show. And Lord, this morning, I ask you to bless each and every presentators. And Lord, thank you because you were with us during this week. And what a wonderful week it is. A week that Lord has led us through. We give you thanks, Lord. Thank you for everything. Lord, I ask you to continue to be with us. May this show is a wonderful one for everybody in Saint Lucia. Bless us today. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. The peace of God, with transcendent all understanding, will guard your heart and your mind in Jesus Christ. Amen.
We thank the gentleman from the Salvation Army for today's edition of Pray for St. Lucia. He started off the week this week and he ended the week and look ahead to the weekend with this newest feature. Captain Wousdel Louis, our presenter this week. We'll have another religious leader join us on Monday with Pray for St. Lucia. If you would like to pray for St. Lucia, send us an email, bonjou758@gmail.com, or you can text or WhatsApp us at 584-0600. Pray for St. Lucia, our newest feature here on the platform. At time 6:08, the latest news headlines. Your first news of the day with Shannon Lebourne comes up next.
The morning news, first news of the day, is sponsored by Court.
Good morning. Breaking news as we come on the air this Friday. Producers are now sharing some information that will now relate to you. Breaking news this hour, St. Lucia has recorded yet another homicide. This time the incident is in the north of the island. Residents of Kako in Babonneau, they reported hearing gunshots shortly before 1 a.m. this morning. When the gunshot ended and the smoke cleared, one man was found nursing injuries, and we can confirm that he has since been reported deceased. The incident again happening in Kako, Babonneau, just before 1 a.m. today, Friday. Police have launched an investigation to ascertain the details surrounding this latest shooting death of a young St. Lucian male. Good morning. St. Lucia understands that he was in the company of his child when his life was taken away. Latest incident happening in Kako, Babonneau, taking the island's homicide toll now to 62 for the year. Still, first we'll have more news in just a moment. We will have more on homicide number 62 in just a bit, but first, the president of the National Principals Association, the NPA, has disclosed that police arrested and charged the young man with recent attacks on students in Castries. Valerie St. Helen Henry recalled that students on their way from school in the Sunbelt Entrepot area had come under attack and were forced to hand over valuables, including mobile telephones and cash. Ms. St. Helen said that some of the students had been assaulted. She said, quote, one individual has been arrested by the police and has been charged, unquote. The National Principal Association president herself, who is also a principal of the Ave Maria Girls Primary, lauded the police for being very active, patrolling where attacks occurred and working with the victims of the schools. A resident of VA4 was shot on Clark Street on Wednesday morning, November the 16th. The victim, Simon Henry, sustained injuries to his abdomen and back. According to a police source, the bullets grazed the victim and his injuries are not life-threatening. He has since been discharged from hospital. The incident occurred about 2 a.m., just 2 hours prior to the most recent incident in VA4. That was homicide number 61 in Shine Drive earlier this week. According to informants, upon being shot, the victim immediately made a report to the VA4 police station. His assailant, a resident of VA4, is currently in police custody and is expected to be charged soon. Thieves who broke into the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association's headquarters in Castries ran off for their lives after a licensed firearm holder fired warning shots. Bandits vandalized and desecrated the Blind Welfare Association's building on Wednesday in search for valuable items. At this time, the association is unable to disclose what exactly was taken from the premises. However, Executive Director Anthony Averill asserted that the attack reeks of desperation. He outlined that the plans of the bandits were thwarted by the alarm of a neighbor in the area.
Staff at the Blind Welfare Association was greeted with scenes of horror on Thursday morning, shattered glass and office spaces in disarray. They quickly realized that the building was the subject of a late-night break-in and robbery. Bandits seized the opportunity of the night and attacked an institution dedicated to preserving eye care in St. Lucia. While it remains unknown what exactly the perpetrators made away with, the staff are psychologically damaged by the incident. Puzzled by the ordeal, Executive Director Anthony Averill was quite surprised bandits would even consider the Blind Welfare Association as a target for a robbery.
I was among the last set of people that left here last night, 9 o'clock, and came back in around 10 to 7 this morning, greeted by a break into the place. They smashed the glass in one of the front doors, interfered with the door to the eye clinic, but that they actually smashed their way through the other door and came in and of course breached the building. Naturally they would be looking and trying to see what they can find. We don't know exactly what they expect to find in this place, but it was a bit of a mystery because the staff, they have been searching and checking to see what they may have make away with.
Averill is thankful that neighbors in the area took action and attempted to scare the bandits off. He says their heroics may have prevented further loss for the association.
Apparently, some neighbors heard the commotion and raised an alarm, and that may have stopped them in their tracks somewhat, and 2 men were seen running with whatever they had in their hands, and that this bit of information, I understand, was shared with the police. The police they were here very early, several of them, doing their work to start their investigation, but this really threw us in a bit of a tailspin.
Averill articulates that it is unfortunate that the already cash-strapped association will need to procure resources to improve security at the facility to preclude another incident. Prior to the break-in on Wednesday evening, the thieves had attempted to enter the building on the previous night, but that attempt proved less successful than the former. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Kareem Nelson.
Thanks so much, Kareem. More news this hour. St. Lucia will join the international community in celebration of World Children's Day this coming Sunday. World Children's Day was first established in 1954 as Universal Children's Day and is celebrated on the 20th of November each year to promote international togetherness, awareness amongst children worldwide, and improving children's welfare. November 20th is an important date as it is on that date in 1959 when the United Nations General Assembly adopted the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. It is also the date in 1989 when the UN General Assembly adopted the Convention on the Rights of the Child. Since 1990, World Children's Day also marks the anniversary of the date that the UNGA adopted both the Declaration and the Convention on Children's Rights. Mothers and fathers, teachers, nurses and doctors, government leaders and civil society activists, religious and community leaders, corporate moguls and the media, as well as young people and children themselves, play an important part in making World Children's Day relevant for their societies, communities, and nations. World Children's Day offers each of us an inspirational entry point to advocate, promote, and celebrate children's rights, translating into dialogues and actions that will build a better world for children. The 2022 theme, Inclusion for Every Child. The European Union has agreed to provide monetary support to the generation of employment through private sector development project. On November 16th, the island's Prime Minister, Honorable Philip Pierre, and the Ambassador of the European Union to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean states officially signed a $16.8 million grant in support of the project. At least 600 St. Lucian students will benefit. 7 institutions who provide occupational training programs have also agreed to place each of the 600 participants in a private sector-based job training program for a minimum of 3 months.
On November 16th, Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre and Ambassador of the European Union to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean states, Malgorzata Wasilewska, finalized the terms of an easy $16.8 million grant from the European Union to support the generation of employment through private sector development project, or JEPSET. The JEPSET project is a comprehensive and integrated skills training system that provides unemployed youth and vulnerable groups with access to occupational training programs facilitated by the Saint Lucia Council for Technical and Vocational Education and Training.
We are going to be training young St. Lucians to give them the skills, the necessary skills, so that they can produce. Because the problem of unemployment is a scourge that affects all of us. It doesn't matter if we leave one point in St. Lucia and go and live somewhere else. That scourge is going to follow us. The scourge of social upheaval and the problems of crime will follow us if we do not find a way, to engage our young people, find a way to get them meaningfully employed.
The EU grant will be used to provide stipends for participants and also make available seed capital to trainees who have attained National Caribbean vocational qualifications under the JEPSET project and wish to pursue a micro and or small to medium scale business venture. The EU funding will also be used to establish a workforce development center in the island's south.
We are very excited to join forces with the government of St. Lucia in support of the reform of the TVET landscape in the country. Given the vulnerabilities and current fragility St. Lucia is actually continually exposed to, the improved alignment of education and training and exposure to experience in the labor market.
7 local institutions who provide occupational training programs, namely the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, Monroe College, the St. Lucia Hotel and Tourism Association Training Academy, the National Skills Development Center, the Center for Adolescent Renewal and Education, and the School of Art and Design have agreed to train at least 600 St. Lucians enlisted in the JEPSET project. To this end, the Department of Economic Development and representatives of the respective occupational training institutions have signed a memorandum of understanding to place each of the 600 JEPSET participants in a private sector-based job training program for a minimum of 3 months. The EU grant of $16.8 million will also support related initiatives in the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Commerce, and the St. Lucia Council for Technical and Vocational Education and Training. The Office of the National Authorizing Officer is the implementation agency spearheading the JEPSET project. From the Office of the Prime Minister, Rihani Isidore.
On Thursday, November the 17th, inmates of the Bodley Correctional Facility BCF participated in a workshop titled Conflict Management Makes a Difference. The activity spearheaded by the facility in collaboration with the Saint Lucia Crisis Center and the Department of Probation and Parole aimed to provide special skills in handling conflict with an emphasis on developing and improving skills in listening, problem solving, and form part of International Men's Day celebrations. Director of Corrections, Mr. Vern Gard, says the workshop it was coupled with various transformative initiatives and will aid the facility in achieving their rehabilitation goals.
Under the theme, Making a Positive Difference to the Well-Being and Lives of Men and Boys, and to commemorate International Men's Day, inmates of the Bordelais Correctional Facility took part in a transformative workshop on conflict management. The workshop featured presentations from representatives of the Saint Lucia Crisis Center, Turning Point, Parole and Probation Department, and the Substance Abuse Secretariat on topics like values clarification, mediation, anger control, forgiveness, and non-violence. With the prison demographic being predominantly male, Director of Corrections Vern God says prison violence can create chaos and widespread behavior problems among inmates, and to effectively reduce violence in prison, the facility is taking a proactive approach by resolving problems before they intensify.
Well, we have almost 95% of the prison population being men, and it's very disproportionate to what's in the general public. The general public, generally, the breakdown is 52% to 48%. And when you look at that disparity, you can see the need for agencies like the Crisis Center to come and assist us to see how we can better serve the needs of the men at this institution.
The facility recently engaged in a sweep of the compound, confiscating 45 phones, 43 batteries, 22 chargers, 31 weapons, 60 portions of cannabis, 6 scissors, 1 hacksaw, an SD card, an MP3 player, and 2 lighters, among other items. The seizure was seen as unprecedented, however raised concerns as to the intentions for possessing those weapons found. In light of this, God says the facility embraces the support of partner agencies who play an integral role in the holistic approach.
Well, some of the things that we have to do is to balance our approach in corrections. It cannot be an institution who totally believes in reinforcing behavior without balancing it out with proper recreational activities and also psychosocial intervention. So this is one of the tools that we use. We use philanthropic groups to come in and support us in that direction so that we could have a warmer perspective of the various inmates.
Corrections Officer Yasmin Peter attests to the fact that minor disagreements often are antecedents to major disruptions, and so it is her hope that inmates digest what was presented and share it with others.
What we've seen over the years is that most times the inmates don't resolve conflict in the best way. That's why we often have incidents of stabbing and so forth. So today's workshop is primarily geared at teaching them how to manage conflict in the right way, and we're hoping that those who attend the workshop will go back to their residential units and impact the knowledge to the rest of the inmates.
The activity will also be recorded in its entirety to be made available to the rest of the inmates who could not have attended the session in efforts to reach 100% of the demographic. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Jasmine Duncan.
Thanks, Jasmine. In observance of World Children's Day this coming Sunday, November the 20th, the Division of Human Services, in tandem with the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, will host a Blue Ribbon Drive initiated to promote awareness of child protection, together and well-being, with the theme Inclusion for Every Child. The Blue Ribbon Initiative will advocate for the color of blue to be worn by every school child and citizen today, Friday, November the 18th.
The Director of Division of Human Services, Beverly Ann Poyot.
So for this year's celebration, the Division of Human Services is doing what is called a Blue Ribbon Drive. And we would like to do it in 2 ways. One, we would like to encourage all of our schools on island to select a tree, a shrub, or they can make something that looks like a tree and to tie on blue ribbons onto that tree.
Wearing blue on World Children's Day is representative of UNICEF's mandate to stand for the rights of every child.
Along with doing that, we encourage the schools to do their own activities within the school setting, which would support the growth and development of children. Then as a national activity, we will be doing a similar Blue Ribbon Drive in the town of Vieux-Fort on the 18th of November and in Monrepo on the 25th of November, where we will be doing it in a public area. We will be doing the same concept of a Blue Ribbon Drive, tying blue ribbons onto a tree. So we're encouraging all of the schools to be able to do that. we would also like to encourage our citizens on Friday the 18th and the Saturday and Sunday, the weekend, the actual weekend of the celebration, to wear something blue, just as a representation of our children. And we are asking parents, guardians, anybody to just on that weekend celebrate children.
Director of the Division of Human Services, Beverly Ann Poyot. Based on UNICEF statistical data of 2021, an estimated 60 million children have been impacted by COVID-19 and are now living in poverty. As a result, this year's November 20th celebration is a resolve towards reconstructing a better world for every child. From the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, Chauvray Marius.
The government of St. Lucia is aiming to tackle its development issues and priorities by closing the gaps in the provision of its assistance by development partners. The St. Lucia's Medium-Term Development Strategy 2021-2026 was presented at the UN Development Partners Coordination meeting with the aim of aligning the priority areas for the government with that of its development partners.
The Department of Economic Development recently presented St. Lucia's Medium-Term Development Strategy, MTDS 2021 to 2026, at a United Nations organized meeting of development partners and the government of St. Lucia. The MTDS is the output of extensive stakeholder consultations with the public and private sectors, NGOs and civil society organizations who interrogated St. Lucia's developmental issues and proposed solutions. Pearl Alcindor is the acting chief economist in the Department of Economic Development.
So it was very opportune for us to be part of the dialogue today, because as we move from the official launch of the MTDS, now we are going to be going into implementation. And implementation, this is where we need to dialogue further with our development partners to identify resources so that we will be able to have projects, the transformative projects that we have identified for our process, that we can actually implement them to be able to have a transformative impact and to improve the quality of life of the people of St. Lucia.
Development partners work bilaterally with government, providing support and aid in various areas. UN Country Coordination Officer for St. Lucia, Dr. Lorraine Nicholas, said the purpose of the meeting was to improve the delivery of development assistance to St. Lucia and to reduce implementation bottlenecks, as very often the funds are available, but the implementation is rather important.
So today we have a number of development partners joining us in person as well as virtually. We have Japan, we have the EU, we have the UK, we have the OAS, we have ICA, we have the World Bank, we have the CDB, and of course we have several United Nations agencies joining us as well, basically to ensure that we provide coordinated assistance to St. Lucia.
Dr. Nicholas stressed the importance of development partners to understand the development priorities for St. Lucia, as articulated by the government, which should also reflect the priorities of the private sector and civil society organizations.
Coming out of this, we would have identified where the gaps are. We now understand what each development partner is bringing to the table, and so hearing from the government what are their priorities, juxtaposing the medium-term development strategy priorities with what the development partners are offering. Where are the gaps? How could we work together better to provide the support to be more strategic and more impactful and more relevant for the government of St. Lucia?
The MTDS lays the roadmap on how government will tackle its priority issues while building resilience to external shocks such as the COVID-19 pandemic and the Ukraine-Russia conflict.
In the MTDS, one of the priority areas is to enhance human capital and social resilience. So somebody going through the document would be able to see an intervention that we have identified to address that is improving health facility. We also look at access to housing and also justice and citizen security. There are actually specific interventions to address that. So the citizens will be able to understand what exactly is being done. So it's not just aspirational, but how we move from aspiration to impacting people every day.
The medium-term development strategy is supported by a national development framework which triggers long-range planning for how citizens would like to see St. Lucia 30 to 40 years from now. The Development Partners Coordination meeting was held at the Harbour Club in Grosley. For the National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, Glenn Simon reporting.
Now, finally, from us this hour, following her return to the island from Dubai, where she represented St. Lucia as a guest speaker at the World Volunteers Conference, founder of the Do Nation Foundation, Dan Felicia, is encouraging non-governmental organization NGOs to get incorporated. While celebrating the incorporation of her organization, she says the process, while a tedious one, is also gratifying, given that such a move has increased the integrity of the Do Nation Foundation.
Do Nation Foundation's founder, Diane Felicia, is making a call for non-government organizations to take the next step to incorporating their social ventures. According to her, the benefits that follow such a move will set apart one's enterprise and far outweighs any of the possible cons that may have crossed individuals' minds. By her account, amid growing economic inequality, investors are looking for credible and reputable organizations to fund their initiatives, and an incorporated venture attracts such investments, ultimately leading to the organization fulfilling its mandate. As part of the third sector, there are many benefits like tax exemptions, access to funding, limited liability associated with running an NGO, and on a global scale, an incorporation can serve as a value proposition, making it easier to access such.
As an organization being incorporated, there is a greater level of commitment. There is a greater level of passion and drive. There is a greater level of governance that is required. There is a greater level of accountability. There is a greater level of reporting. There is a greater level of ensuring that you don't have processes, but you have effective processes in place. And that is what we wanted to achieve as a foundation. As a foundation who is really accountable to all of the stakeholders, to all of the sponsors, and even to the members and to the public that we serve. So that is the reason of us, moving up a notch higher to be incorporated, that we would be able to really represent our country, I would say our country and our people, not just at a national level, but at a regional and international level.
Felicia says the quality of opportunities that an incorporation attracts is one of the motivating factors that kept her going through the process, and would want to see others like herself who are actively seeking to address societal issues enjoy such opportunities.
We believe being incorporated is the next thing to do for any organization who is willing to create and make changes, not just in their lives, but to our country as well. And that is where Do Nation Foundation is heading. And of course, it's already started, because we are grateful that the government is inviting us to a number of meetings, to be at that table, to be at that level, to hold discussions.
Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Jasmine Duncan.
Thank you, Jasmine. And with that, we've come to the end of the morning news, your first news of the day, with Shannon Lebourne.
The morning news, first news of the day, is sponsored by Quartz.
Ooh la la! See what's new at Quartz. We've got great deals on living and dining room sets, appliances, electronics, and smart devices, and more. Shop today with no cash using Quartz Ready Finance, 3 to 48-month payment plans available. Shop in-store or online at shopquartz.com. Come see what's new and take advantage of these great deals only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.
"23 minutes now before 7. Sports is next. In sports this hour, history was created last evening at the Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds when St. Lucia played host to European team San Marino in an international football friendly. This was the European team's first visit to the Caribbean and the first time playing a Caribbean team. It was also the first time the St. Lucia national football team played a European Cup. Let's now move over to the results. St. Lucia's number 20, Donovan Jabatis. He opened the scoring for Team St. Lucia in the 30th minute of play. The national team held onto the lead for much of the ball and possession for most of that encounter. With just about 5 minutes left on the clock, San Marino found a late equalizer. The game ended in a 1-1 draw. Speaking in a post-match interview, national head coach Stern John said the final scores was the result of the team's fitness levels.
About lack of fitness, I think we managed the game for 80 minutes in the game. I think we probably get a bit tired coming on to the end. I know international football is a physical game. You have to be fit to play international football as well. I think when you lose, when you get tired coming down to the end, you tend to lose your concentration, and that was the fault of the goal in the end. I think we lost our way in the end in terms of organization. We lose our shape and stuff just because we were tired as well. Yes, of course. I think we dominated the ball well. I think international football, you have to keep the ball. If they have the ball, they have a better chance of scoring, and if the team don't have the ball, they can't score. I think we can do a bit better in the usage of the ball going forward a bit, but it's still a work in progress. I think a lot of the local players, it's the first time they play international football and play on this level. The San Marino team, a very physical team as well, and they matched them well. I think credit to the boys, and I know the downstairs they're very disappointed in the result, but I think the exercise was really well. I'm pretty happy.
National head coach Stern John speaking in a post-match interview. The attendance at Thursday's international friendly was just about 766 patrons. St. Lucia and San Marino will face off again this coming Sunday in the last of the two-match clash series. The match will take place again at the Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds, and all citizens are invited to come out and support the national football team. The finals of the Inter-Schools Basketball Tournament is scheduled for today, Friday, November the 18th, with Leon Hess Comprehensive coming up against Soufriere Comprehensive. Soufriere won the semi-finals against the Patricia D. James Secondary on Wednesday. And as reported on Thursday, Leon Hess booked their final spot after defeating the St. Mary's College by 2 points. The finals takes place at the VG Sports Complex, but first St. Mary's College will face the Patricia D. James Secondary in the third place playoffs. These encounters get underway from 1 p.m. today with the third place and the finals. Leon Hess versus the SCSS Soufriere Comprehensive from 2:30 p.m. Parents and special interests are invited to come out and support the young players. As the inter-school sports calendar winds down, the program has brought out friendly rivalry.
This is Kishon and Kamal Edgar, identical twins, and students of the Leones Comprehensive and the St. Mary's College. However, they are rivals on the basketball court.
I'm the better brother, of course, because even though you're a bit faster, you jump in a bit higher, I'm more complete as a player, so I say I'm the better brother. You agree? I do not agree. He says he's complete, but I'm more complete than him because I'm a better facilitator with the ball, and my IQ is higher than his. So, I would say that I'm a better player than him.
In this year's inter-secondary school sports, they faced each other as the schools competed in the under-19 basketball semi-finals, and this was the atmosphere.
Pick him up. You're good. All right. Look on for that. Rebound. Good block.
Ministry of Youth Development and Sports has been able to restart and re-energize the school sports program, which includes cricket, football, table tennis, and netball, all dominant since the advent of the COVID-19 pandemic.
We're excited to be back on the courts and on the field. If you have been following any of the games, you will see the exuberance on their faces. Even after how many years of trying to get supporters from the schools to come and cheer on the teams, we saw a couple of that happening in some of the schools. So actually, some of them do bring on some of their supporters, some of their colleagues to cheer for them at the games. And so they're eager to be back on the field, eager to be back on the court, and they're looking for competition.
The ministry has initiated a number of after-school programs with the intention of promoting not just physical health among students, but reviving sporting competition as a path to positive engagement in their communities.
What we found out is that with the school, the programs, after-school programs that the ministry had, and with the coaches that we had on board, scouting for the schools and running the after-school programs, running the summer camps, we got that influx of students coming out of the schools being part of those programs.
These sporting programs have played a major role in the all-round development of students nationally and also provided a key support to schools needing technical assistance.
Also, what the coaches did was do interventions with the particular school. So a school would make a request to the coaches, to the ministry, in terms of starting off a program or assisting them to start a program or helping them to select a team or even start off a training with them or prepare a training program for them. And so the ministry would have been available to do that. So the coaches would have done that with those schools.
The inter-schools competition continues November 18th with anticipated excitement in both the finals of the Under-19 basketball and the Under-15 netball championships, while football will enter the quarterfinal stage. Marvin St. Louis, reporting from the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports will host an Under-15 netball fiesta today at the VG Sports Complex. This follows the conclusion of the Under-19 schools tournament, where Miku Secondary emerged winners of that netball tournament. The fiesta will feature participation from several schools. Quickly, we take a look at the schedule, which commences from 10 a.m. again today. Friday, the VG Multipurpose Sports Complex, Castries Comprehensive, Suffolk Comprehensive, St. Joseph's Convent, Choiseul Secondary, the Beanfield Comprehensive, View Fort Comprehensive, the Babano Secondary, and Leon Hess Comprehensive, all participating in this Under-15 netball fiesta. Finally, to end the sports today and this week, we have some highlights, as we promised, from the 30th OECS Swimming Championships hosted by the Saint Lucia Aquatics Federation. The swim meet was held November the 11th through to the 13th.
I feel elated to be hosting this event. Of course, you know, because of COVID-19, we were unable to have a number of events in St. Lucia. And so for me, as a Minister of Youth Development and Sport, I believe swimming, they have a culture of, you know, parental involvement. And I really want that emulated in other sports. And so you would see a bumper crowd at the Rodney Heights Aquatic Center featuring parents and family, relatives of the swimmers. And the support is tremendous. And of course, we're certainly hoping that St. Lucia can dethrone Grenada in this year's championship. It's a tall ask considering the amount of foreign athletes at universities from the US and Europe that Grenada spent monies to bring down to St. Lucia. But it's testament to the level of the competition that our athletes are going through in this competition, and I'm certainly hoping that we give up our best and represent Fair Helen the best that they can.
Well, with those results, we've swum to the end of the lap on this week's sports. For this Friday, November the 18th, the winds are blowing from between the east, northeast, and east near 20 miles per hour or 31 kilometers per hour. The weather for skies becoming cloudy at times with a few brief showers. The Atlantic high pressure system will generate moderate easterly winds and occasionally cloudy skies with some showers across the Lesser Antilles during the next 24 hours. Tropical cyclone formation is not expected over the tropical Atlantic during the next 5 days. The latest weather forecast from the Here and Now Meteorological Office in VA4 St. Lucia. There is more online on the weather website www.slumet.gov.lc, and you can check out the weather hotline 454-3452. Good morning. If you're just waking up, thank you for joining us. This is the morning show built just for you. You are waking up, if you haven't heard by now, to news of another homicide, this time in the north of the island, taking the island's homicide toll to 62. If you have missed the details, we'll have them in just a bit. But in the main today, we are focusing on International Children's Day, which happened on Sunday, the 20th of November. Very, very important discussion coming up today. It's also Men's Day tomorrow, Saturday. Did you know International Men's Day tomorrow, Saturday, the 19th of November? Lots to talk about. Lots has taken place during this week. We'll also review some of that and look ahead to what promises to be an exciting weekend on St. Lucia. Continue to stay with us. We'll be back with some details on homicide number 62 if you haven't heard. This is the morning show for you. Thank you so very much for making us your choice. Happy holidays.
Ooh la la! See what's new at Quartz. We've got great deals on living and dining room sets, appliances, electronics, and smart devices, and more. Shop today with no cash using Quartz Ready Finance, 3 to 48-month payment plans available. Shop in store or online at shopcourts.com. Come see what's new and take advantage of these great deals only at Courts, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Get your clothes sparkling clean with whiter whites and brighter colors. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. Ultra concentrated formula gives more washes with brightening factors added to keep your clothes looking new. And with the added organic fabric softener, your clothes will be soft and fluffy. Joby antibacterial washing powder is also effective in stain removal for cleaner, brighter, softer clothes with the sweet scent of early spring morning. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. My family, my love, my Joby. Available at supermarkets island-wide. For orders, call 455-3076.
Mourning a loss? Hot 7 TV wants to help you celebrate the beautiful memory of your loved one with In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Whether it's a birthday, a wedding anniversary, or some memorable occasion, or the anniversary of the passing of the dearly departed, Hot 7 TV will create a moving video tribute of that special person, showing how much he or she meant to you. Treasured memories, unforgettable moments. Share them with the world and repeat the airing as often as you'd like. Help keep your loved one's memory alive forever in the minds and hearts of all who care. In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Contact us at telephone number 452-6040 or email us at inlovingmemory@caribbeanhottv.com.
Good morning, St. Lucia. Vibes at sunrise. An informative, enlightening, stimulating package. It can be taken as your morning cup of tea. Fortuna Anthony endorsing Vibes in the Morning.
Today is the day of every girl and every boy who have raised their voice for their rights.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us on this Friday, Free Up Friday edition of the program. Just about 3 minutes before the hour of 7 o'clock, let's provide you with some breaking details on homicide number 62, which occurred in the wee hours of today, Friday. And Don, you could run the video as quickly as possible. If you're waking up, sadly, we have to report on another homicide here in once sweet Saint Lucia. The incident occurred in the community of Kako Babano. There is some new information that we'll share with you momentarily here on the platform. Just stay with us momentarily. Dan, is that the video or it was an image or a video? An image. So we can shortly we'll confirm. Shortly we will confirm the identity of this individual. Homicide number 62. Unfortunately, I was saying we have to report on yet another homicide. Again, St. Lucians are waking up to news of another killing here in our island that we call St. Lucia. The deceased, let's use the image now, Dan, please. He has since been identified as Mullins Delis of Kako Babano, and we can confirm that he was shot in his balcony just before 1 a.m. in Kako Babano. Mullins Delis, resident of the community, was shot and killed in his balcony by a known assailant or assailants. Police have now launched an investigation and are in pursuit of suspects. We can confirm our producers are on the phone lines with the investigators as we speak. As soon as they relay some additional information to us, we will confirm those details with you here on the platform. But unfortunate news again of the killing of this St. Lucian national, shot and killed in his balcony at Kako Babano during the wee hours of this morning. This incident has taken the island's homicide toll once more to 62, and police are appealing to St. Lucians who may have information on this latest crime or any other incident to contact the Major Crimes Unit or the nearest police station. Information provided will be held with the strictest confidentiality. Mullins Delis of Kako Babano, homicide victim number 62. We extend condolences to his friends, family, and his loved ones. Latest information now from the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, sources who are investigating this matter. 7 o'clock the time in St. Lucia and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. My first guest comes in just about 7:10 this morning. Lots happening on the platform. Continue to stay with us.
It is with deep sadness and heavy hearts that we inform you of the death of our beloved Ian Farrell of Bacatel, who passed away on Tuesday, November 8, 2022. He was 49 years old. The funeral service for the late Ian Farrell will be announced in a subsequent broadcast. May his soul rest in perfect peace. His body now lies at Crooks Funeral Home Limited, Fidbutay, Castries. We are saddened to announce the death of Anne Richard, also known as Beltade of Grosley, who passed away at the OKEU Hospital on Friday, October 28, 2022 at 3 p.m. She was 71 years old. The funeral service for the late Anne Richard, also known as Beltade of Grosley, will be held on Monday, December 5th at the Grosley Church at 2:30 p.m. and the body will then be laid to rest at the Grosley Cemetery. Her body now lies at Crooks Funeral Home, Fidbutay, Castries. May she rest in peace. The death is announced of Gertrude John Daylor, better known as Miss Daylor or Gertrude, who passed away at the Villa St. Joseph Home for the Elderly in Dennery on Wednesday, November 9, 2022, at the age of 83 years. The funeral service for the late Gertrude John Daylor, better known as Miss Daylor or Gertrude, will take place at Rambali's Chapel on Thursday, November 24, 2022 at 2 p.m. The family would like to thank the staff of the Villa St. Joseph Home for the Elderly immensely and all who supported them in their time of bereavement. Her body now lies at Ramballi's Funeral Parlor, Calvary Road, Castries. May she rest in peace. It is with profound sadness that we announce the passing of our beloved Thomas Xavier, also known as Zion or Bolko, from French Row Miku, who passed away at his mother's residence on Monday, November 14, 2022. He was 61 years old. The funeral arrangements for the late Thomas Xavier, also known as Zion or Bolko, will be announced in a subsequent broadcast. His body now lies at Lazarus Funeral Home, New Dock Road, Vieux Fort. May he rest in perfect peace. We are deeply saddened to announce the death of Veronica Joseph, better known as Sonia or Soson, originally a prowler but resided in Dennery. She passed away on Saturday, November 12, 2022, at her residence. She was 66 years old. The funeral arrangements of the late Veronica Joseph, better known as Sonia or Soson, will be announced in a subsequent broadcast. May she rest in peace. It is with deep sadness that we announce the death of our beloved Timothy Kirvin Donnelly, also known as Obin of Bade Chaussee, who passed away at the OKEU Hospital on Friday, November 11, 2022. He was 63 years old. The funeral arrangements for the late Timothy Kirvin Donnelly, also known as Obin of Bade Chaussee, will be announced in a subsequent broadcast. The body now lies at Crick's Funeral Home Limited, Fitbotay, Castries. May he rest in peace. The management and staff of Hot FM Communications would like to extend our deepest condolences to the grieving families.
Get your clothes sparkling clean with whiter whites and brighter colors. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. Ultra concentrated formula gives more washes with brightening factors added to keep your clothes looking new. And with the added organic fabric softener, your clothes will be soft and fluffy. Joby antibacterial washing powder is also effective in stain removal for cleaner, brighter, softer clothes with the sweet scent of early spring morning. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. My family, my love, my Joby. Available at supermarkets island-wide. For orders, call 455-3076.
Ooh la la! See what's new at Courts. We've got great deals on living and dining room sets, appliances, electronics, and smart devices, and more. Shop today with no cash using Courts Ready Finance, 3 to 48-month payment plans available. Shop in-store or online at shopcourts.com. Come see what's new and take advantage of these great deals only at Courts. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.
A young man from Bagatelle is dead. Calls on the public to not stigmatize his vehicular accident along the Bexar Highway. From Shashney welcomes the scrutiny of its CI. One man is in police custody following the shooting death of the wife of a police officer.
Look out for the midday news with Daniela Edwin on Hot 7 TV.
Mourning a loss? Hot 7 TV wants to help you celebrate the beautiful memory of your loved one with In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Whether it's a birthday, a wedding anniversary, or some memorable occasion, or the anniversary of the passing of the dearly departed, Hot 7 TV will create a moving video tribute of that special person, showing how much he or she meant to you. Treasured memories, unforgettable moments. Share them with the world and repeat the airing as often as you'd like. Help keep your loved one's memory alive forever in the minds and hearts of all who care. In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Contact us at telephone number 452-6040 or email us at inlovingmemory@caribbeanhottv.com.
What's up, guys, and good morning. My name is O'Neal OJ Joseph, keyboard player for Morgan Heritage, and I'm asking you guys to check out Good Morning St. Lucia Vibes at Sunrise with Shannon Lebourne on weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Hot 7 TV. Check it out.
Happy Friday and happy holidays. It's that time of the year that we all look forward to and love. Well, we most of us look forward to and love that festive time of year. Friday, November the 18th, TGIF Free Up Fridays here on the platform. Let's now move to the word for the day before I bring on my first guest. The word of the day sponsored by Joby Antibacterial Washing Powder, distributed here in St. Lucia by Fruitsy Food Limited. My family, my love, my Joby. Sponsors of the word of the day right here. Good Morning St. Lucia, which comes on screen right now. Today's word, intoxicate. The word of the day, intoxicate. It's a verb today, and it means to excite or stupefy by or as if by alcohol or drugs. Intoxicate means to excite or stupefy by or as if by alcohol or drugs. It can also mean to poison, intoxicate. Let's use it now in a sentence. The little bit of beer they drank was not enough to intoxicate them. The stunning spectacle of this Las Vegas show. Spectacle, is it? Yeah, I think we missed a letter there. No? You don't think so? The stunning spectacle of this Las Vegas show is sure to intoxicate spectators. Interesting word to end today's Friday. Seems like my producer Don is planning to get intoxicated. But today's word, intoxicate, a verb which means to excite or to stupefy by or as if by alcohol or drugs. It can also mean to poison. I'm not even going to say that. Suffice to say good morning to our good friend of the show. The word of the day is sponsored by Joby Laundry Detergent, distributed here in St. Lucia by Fruitsy Food Limited. Joby Antibacterial Washing Powder. My family, my love, my Joby.
Get your clothes sparkling clean with whiter whites and brighter colors. Use Joby Antibacterial Washing Powder. Ultra concentrated formula gives more washes with brightening factors added to keep your clothes looking new. And with the added organic fabric softener, your clothes will be soft and fluffy. Joby Antibacterial Washing Powder is also effective in stain removal for cleaner, brighter, softer clothes with the sweet scent of early spring morning. Use Joby Antibacterial Washing Powder. My family, my love, my Joby. Available at supermarkets island-wide. For orders, call 455-3076.
Thanks for waking up here and making us your choice. Our girl Monica, she's standing by next with the financial tip of the day on the segment we call You and Your Money.
And now for your financial tip. Pay yourself first, which means saving money for emergencies and for your future. This simple practice not only keeps you out of trouble financially, but it can also help you sleep better at night, even on the tightest budget. No matter how much you owe in loans or credit card debt, no matter how low your salary is, there are ways to put at least some of your money into an emergency fund every month. An added benefit is that if you get into the habit of soaking away money into savings automatically, then you will stop treating savings as optional and start treating it as a required monthly expense. Before long, you'll have more than just emergency money saved up. You will have retirement money, vacation money, or even money for a down payment on a home. This has been your financial tip.
We'll have another one of those for you on Monday. Be sure to join us then and stay with us throughout the course of the week. It's Free Up Friday here on the platform. We normally tone things down and review the happenings of the week in celebratory mood, looking ahead to the weekend. Sadly, we are reporting this morning on another homicide, but in the main, we are focusing on Children's Day, International Children's Day, which happens on a Sunday of this week. Just as we get ready for International Children's Day, another child will grow up without a father. The sad times and the sad reality that we live in current day St. Lucia. The homicide toll now stands at 62, a dozen short of the record 74 killings registered in 2021. Emergency personnel tried their very best to save the life of this latest victim. We're told, however, he succumbed to injuries and has since been pronounced dead. We'll take a short commercial break. My very first guest is already standing by. Sunday is International Children's Day. Saturday is International Men's Day. What are your plans? What are you going to be doing? We're highlighting the latter on this edition of the program, and we'll also open up the phone lines to give you an opportunity to come in and perhaps discuss just why isn't there this much pomp and ceremony for International Men's Day, as there always is for International Women's Day. This is the morning show for you, the new course to discourse. Thank you for making us your choice. Happy holidays. We'll be back with my first guests right after this.
Always wanted a motorcycle, but they've been too expensive. I pass in on my way to work, and then boom, I see courts have motorcycles outside. I'm excited. I get up one day, I go down, I spoke to this guy. I think his name was Sheena, this short, chubby little guy, you know. I purchased two bikes so far. It was the 150 SL and the 250 Dragon. This blue, beautiful AKT TT Dragon. This is my baby. I call her Becky. She gives me the best ride ever. My name is Storyboy Nick, and I live to ride my AKT.
Get your clothes sparkling clean with whiter whites and brighter colors. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. Ultra concentrated formula gives more washes with brightening factors added to keep your clothes looking new. And with the added organic fabric softener, your clothes will be soft and fluffy. Joby antibacterial washing powder is also effective in stain removal for cleaner, brighter, softer clothes with the sweet scent of early spring morning. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. My family, my love, my Joby. Available at supermarkets island-wide. For orders, call 455-3076.
A young man from Bagatelle is dead. Calls on the public to not stigmatize his steel accidents along the Bexar Highway. From there, Shannon welcomes the scrutiny of its CI. One man is in police custody following the shooting death of the wife of a police officer.
Look out for the midday news with Daniela Edwin on Hot 7 TV.
Mourning a loss? Hot 7 TV wants to help you celebrate the beautiful memory of your loved one with In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Whether it's a birthday, a wedding anniversary, or some memorable occasion, or the anniversary of the passing of the dearly departed, Hot 7 TV will create a moving video tribute of that special person, showing how much he or she meant to you. Treasured memories, unforgettable moments. Share them with the world and repeat the airing as often as you'd like. Help keep your loved one's memory alive forever in the minds and hearts of all who care. In loving memory, celebrating lives. Contact us at telephone number 452-6040 or email us at inlovingmemory@caribbeanhottv.com.
Hi folks, I travel quite a lot and would sometimes be out of the country for weeks at a time. The good news is that because of the internet and modern technology, I can always stay in touch with what's happening in St. Lucia. And when I do, my go-to site is Good Morning St. Lucia, Vibes at Sunrise with Shannon Lebourne. Up-to-date news, good discussion, interesting guests, and a great host. What more could anyone ask for? My name is Richard Peterkin, and I endorse this message.
All children have the right to equality, even though we're different.
I see a road where I go, where you go.
We have the right to a worthy home and not to live on the streets.
No one knows.
We have the right to feed ourselves and not to starve.
Please keep me warm with your love.
We have the right to be cured by doctors and not to suffer without medicines. We have the right to an education, to go to school, to be able to have a future.
No mistake.
All children are the same, yes, and we have the same rights, but is this true?
I'm gonna fly to you. Oh, I'm not low with your love. I'm gonna fly to you. Oh, I'm not low with your love.
We're getting set for the celebration and the observance of International Children's Day, a very important one annually. Joining me now on the Flow WhatsApp platform, the manager of the Rainbow Children's Home in V4, Miss Sandra Louis. She has served in that capacity since its inception. The home opened its doors in 2019 and located in the south of the island in V4. It provides care for children who are dealing with all forms of abuse and who suffer from trauma as a result. These trauma are known to cause serious anger management and behavior issues. The home continues to face financial challenges. However, individuals and entities which are so minded are always encouraged, we always do so here, to support the work of the Rainbow Children's Home in V4. Good morning, thanks for being so patient, and thanks for waking up early and joining us. Stratus again. She's with us, correct? Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice, yeah. Thanks for waking up early and thanks for being a bit patient with us here this morning.
No problem.
Yeah. Let's talk about the home. You opened in 2019 and you provide a very, very important service to some very important people in our community. How things been going?
Things are going okay for the while. Obviously, we are a registered charity. We do get a little help from government, but it's a charity, so it's always a struggle trying to get the things that the children need. The home can currently accommodate up to 8 children, and we have 5 currently, aged from 11 months old up to the age of 13.
11 to 13. And what are some of the needs that you cater to for those children down at the Rainbow?
The children, the majority are coming from abused background. So you're dealing with a number of behavioral issues and anger management issues, which is very difficult for staff and also very difficult for the children, as they can't be blamed for the situation that they're in.
Yeah. Yeah. How
I mean, it's a lot of work, a lot of care, and a lot of attention.
Yeah. It's very, very important to have institutions like yours to engage these children.
Yes, it is very important, and I don't like the word institution. I mean, where we like to say a home away from home, where the children are safe and protected and in a good environment that will hopefully help them with all the problems that they are dealing with.
Yeah, a home away from home. I really like that, and I appreciate the correction. It's not an institution. It's a home away from home. What are some of the cases you see being presented to you down there at the Rainbow?
Oh Lord, we've had child sexual abuse and obviously physical abuse. And that will also to include verbal abuse. The abuse situation in St. Lucia is just not good at all. Not good at all.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of those particulars in just a bit, but talk about the initiatives and programs that you introduce to help bring some normalcy to the lives of these children.
Okay, now we try to treat the children just like you would treat normal, ordinary children. You know, the children who are of school age all attend school. At the moment we have 2 very small ones who are obviously home, so it's just like staff caring for them, providing care, love and attention for the 2 little ones that are at home. During school holidays, obviously Christmas is coming up shortly, we then provide programs for the children to be doing things in the home and also out of the home. We could take them to the beach, we could take them for a swim. I'm 24/7s with my begging bowl asking companies for assistance to do things. I managed to get passes to Bay Gardens Beach Park for the children for the summer holidays. We also managed to get passes for the Soufre, the Sulphur Springs. So just try to do like normal things that normal children are doing. You know, it's not a prison. This is the home that they live in. So you try to make things as normal as possible. Even though, you know, the children are coming from an abuse setting, their parents, they ask for continuously, and all children always want to go home. Not always the best thing, so we have to try and work around them the best we can, or work with them.
Excellent. Now you met them when they came and you opened up your doors. What are some of the smiles that you've seen emerge and some of the success stories since they've been with you down at that home?
We've had some of the children, not all, obviously are in a much safer environment, so you do get smiles and things now. And we've had a few children that have moved on, gone on to foster care, turned to perhaps another member of family. And these are, for me, the success stories, because the home was not designed for children to be there to the end of time. It's supposed to be for a brief period. It doesn't always work out that way, but we try to do the best that we can.
Excellent to even learn of some of those success stories. It's called the Rainbow. It's a home for the home. Normally we see rainbows after a lot of inclement weather. Speak to us about the thinking behind the title and what sort of impression and impact a title like that has on your operations and the service that you provide.
We actually did a competition within the schools to ask for children to name the home. We thought that would be a brilliant idea, and we all really liked the idea of the Rainbow Children's Home. It's like a ray of hope for children coming to the home.
Excellent. I'm thankful that you explained where it came from, that it actually came from children themselves.
Yes, it did.
And I was leaning to it, providing that ray of new opportunity, ray of hope, as you termed it. So well. Let's speak of some of the specific issues now which impact children, and then we'll celebrate a bit, because Sunday is International Children's Day. It's a time of celebration. It's a time of reflection as well. But a number of the cases which present to you stem from abuse. What are some of the factors which contribute to these cases, you think?
I feel that I don't know. I just parenting skills, number one. Children are not being listened to. I mean, very early on, a lot of the children will tell us that, you know, they did tell someone, being a parent, and they weren't believed, they weren't listened to. You know, how does that make as a child? How does that make you feel?
Mm-hmm.
You know, these are the people that are here to care for you, and something serious has happened. They're trying to tell you, and you're not listening. This is very difficult, and for the children, it causes a major problem, and that problem doesn't just go away. It stays with a lot of our children, sadly, for a very long time. I think people just assume that, you know, they come to the children's home or they go to the Division of Human Services and, you know, it will just all go away, but it doesn't. These things are deep-rooted, and it affects the children very badly.
Based on your experience and your work here, how prevalent would you say the issue of abuse is, and which demographic of child is most at risk?
Wow. Abuse in St. Lucia, for me, I find, is just far too much. St. Lucia is a very small place. Being born and raised in London and coming from that setting, doing social work, when I came here, I found it very difficult with the number of child abuse cases that we had here in St. Lucia for such a small place. And I was wondering what could be done to more educate the public on the situation of child abuse in St. Lucia. It is just far too much. Far too much.
You get a sense that perhaps majority of the cases are still not reported?
I think a number of cases are not reported, and I probably believe because children probably see other things that have been reported, and they're not seeing what's actually being done about it. Everything just takes a long time here. I'm not saying that things are not being done. It just takes a very long time for everything to come to fruition.
Yeah. But it's good that you have homes away from the home like yourself who play an important role in supporting some of our children who are at risk. Your final message to the St. Lucian public I know there's lots that you can do, lots more that you can do. You'd require some assistance. Times have been a bit challenging. Your final message as we look ahead to the celebration of Children's Day on Sunday. How can institutions like yourself be supported? And what should be our focus as a society come Sunday and even beyond that?
Look after our children. Our children are the future. You, as a parent, your children are talking to you. Listen to what they're saying. This is very, very important. Take the time to listen to what your children have to say. You know, children don't just come with a story. They don't just make up things. You know, you might have had the happiest child ever. Be aware of your child. Be aware that something may be going on that they're too scared to say or don't know how to say. And please don't shut them down. Listen to what they have to say. It's very important. And on this coming Sunday for Children's Day, yes, do something special for all of your children. Treat them like they're the kings and queens that they are. They deserve that.
What are your plans? What are your plans at the Rainbow Home?
Well, we will do nice eats, drinks and treats for the children. I know today all their schools are doing this for today, but the home will do something for the children, especially on Sunday.
Excellent.
Yeah, Rainbow Children's Home is always, we accept donations from any direction, food, clothes, whatever anybody would like to donate. We accept everything and are always extremely grateful.
How can people get in contact with you?
They can call me on my work cell, which is, can I give the number?
Sure.
Yes, 718-8789, or on the Rainbow Children's Home email, which is rainbowchildren29@outlook.com.
Excellent. Sanja, I want to thank you for coming on. We wish you to be around for many, many more years. There's a need for homes away from the home like the one that you provided down in Viewfort. Thank you for the service to the children in need down there, and we'll talk again when next the opportunity arises.
Okay, thank you very much for having me.
You're most welcome. Saint Lucia, she is the founder and manager over at the Rainbow Home, away from home for children, located in Viewfort, St. Lucia. Our celebration of International Children's Day, begins now as we look ahead to the international observance come Sunday, November the 20th.
Today is the day of every girl and every boy who have raised their voice for their rights.
La la! See what's new at Courts. We've got great deals on living and dining room sets, appliances, electronics, and smart devices, and more. Shop today with no cash using Courts Ready Finance, 3 to 48-month payment plans available. Shop in-store or online at shopcourts.com. Come see what's new and take advantage of these great deals. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Mourning a loss? Hot 7 TV wants to help you celebrate the beautiful memory of your loved one with In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Whether it's a birthday, a wedding anniversary, or some memorable occasion, or the anniversary of the passing of the dearly departed, Hot 7 TV will create a moving video tribute of that special person. showing how much he or she meant to you. Treasured memories, unforgettable moments. Share them with the world and repeat the airing as often as you'd like. Help keep your loved one's memory alive forever in the minds and hearts of all who care. In loving memory, celebrating lives. Contact us at telephone number 452-6040 or email us at inlovingmemory@caribbeanhottv.com.
A young man from Bagatelle is dead. Calls on the public to not stigmatize his fatal accidents along the Bexar Highway. From dead, Shannon welcomes the scrutiny of its CI. One man is in police custody following the shooting death of the wife of a police officer.
Look out for the midday news with Daniela Edwin on Hot 7 TV.
Get your clothes sparkling clean with whiter whites and brighter colors. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. Ultra concentrated formula gives more washes with brightening factors added to keep your clothes looking new. And with the added organic fabric softener, your clothes will be soft and fluffy. Joby antibacterial washing powder is also effective in stain removal for cleaner, brighter, softer clothes with the sweet scent of early spring morning. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. My family, my love, my Joby. Available at supermarkets island-wide. For orders, call 455-3076.
This is the 2022 Power Soca Monarch First, inviting you to tune into Hot 7 TV. Good morning, Saint Lucia. Big up. Now let's spend it. No, you can't spend it. Can be broke if she buys it. She must eat all your money. Because God made man, man made money. God made woman to eat man money.
Today is the day of every girl and every boy who have raised their voice for their rights.
We say good morning. We say good morning to each and every boy and girl waking up on Saint Lucia today. International Children's Day comes around this Sunday. We take a minute just to remind you, boy and girl, that you are individually special and unique, and you are a treasure to all you come across. So go on out and live your dreams. Despite the challenges that you see around, you have a bright future ahead. Remain disciplined and focused and enjoy your time as a child. My next guest is already on the Flow video line, so I'll move right over to him. From the Saint Lucia Red Cross, he was on with us just about a week and a half ago. Important update now as we look towards the recovery process post the November 6th drop. Mr. Hubert Pierre, always nice seeing you, sir. Good morning and welcome again.
A pleasant morning to you, Shannon. I hope everything is alright with you and it's good to be back home. and that we can continue what we have started with the people of Corinth, etc.
Yeah, you now move into your recovery mode. What sort of frame, what sort of design would that initiative take, or that recovery mode take?
Well, what we are doing now is that we are seeking to get a DREF that is funding towards helping those persons, which is more or less, it's more or less here. And we figure out, and we know for a fact that we cannot buy them refrigerators and whatever, but anything we could do to offset the spending. So at least for 3 months, we'll try to reach out to them to give them some subsistence feeding and all that kind of bill they wouldn't have to worry about.
You've gone on the ground, I anticipate, since your return to Ireland. What have you seen? What have you seen? How does it look down there? How bad were the families devastated?
Well, looking around and taking a tour, you could see where the water max was, and you can clearly understand what had happened in this riverbed, I must say, because as I journeyed around and meandered through the houses and stuff, one looked and there is no real passage. The passage is not big enough for the water to get out. So any kind of torrential rain, and the fact that they have actually built a dam in certain corners for the river, so that in itself will create a lot of problems.
Yeah.
And we hope and pray. I don't know what the engineers can do. Look through and see whether they can build some walls or something like that. I don't know, but it's going to be critical, and it's a place that every time it's going to rain, I'm wondering about how people feel, etc., because that can take a toll on you as an individual.
Yep. The psychological impact leading to trauma and all of that as well. It speaks to the broader issue of our development patterns here.
Well, brother, this is a long story. This is one that has, for the past 25 years working in this matter, that has created challenges for us, because sometimes you go in a specific area, you see somebody building a house, then you say, hey, don't do it. You're going to lose your finances and you're endangering yourself. And you wonder if there is any planning here. And then the response they give you is like, the higher authority just said it's okay for one reason or another. But deep down inside your heart, it's not okay for them in the long run.
Yep.
So that makes it difficult.
Yeah, long conversation that's overdue and needs to happen sooner rather than later, because annually we see the impact of our poor planning and poor development practices here. Finally, on the November 6th trough, Mr. Pierre, the recovery mode. How long do you expect it to? You said you anticipate 3 months of assistance, but you're now seeking that assistance. How long do you think it would take before you're able to provide the tangible relief? Some of which you've already started through mattresses, etc.
Well, we have done what we can do initially, and we are not the only ones on the ground, and we are speaking to others who are involved. So if there is anybody who has, fell for the crack or so on, we will seek to it. And we have noticed that some of the people have changed residence, so they are rather displaced. So we need to find them.
Yeah.
And wherever they are, we are going to find them. The other thing is doing the assessment. Wisdom would tell us it's not everybody because the house got flooded who needed a mattress. That is why we gave cots in the first instances and so. So if you have anybody else who needs mattresses, etc., we'll see to it, that type of thing. We'll help them as best as we possibly can.
Yeah, excellent. The Saint Lucia Red Cross, always an important partner in the immediate aftermath of such weather systems. Let's just shift focus slightly. You will host a very important activity on the 27th of this month, a Red Cross walk. Talk to us about the aim and the intention here.
Well, the intention here is to ensure that St. Lucians understand that exercising and good health, good fresh air, good walks is very, very good for the body. And we have organized this 7K walk with this in mind, that tell people you need to exercise, get something together. And we have done it before very successfully. We were unable to do it for the past 2 years because thanks to COVID. But as soon as you have gotten this opportunity, we are back again. And the race commences from the secondary school, that is Cassius Comprehensive Secondary School, and ends on the ramp. And there is something that I want to tell all listeners and those who are taking part in this 7K walk. Please understand, we would be given handbands. We will be given handbands at the starting point. And if anybody gets up there without the handband, we will not be given trophies. Because for many years we are watching and hearing, even when working the ambulance on the road, there are persons who wait, higher up. There are persons who doubt themselves and start walking, just to win and so on and so forth. So that we will not tolerate. So you have to have your handband at the starting point. And there are trophies for first male, first female, differently able person, and the youngest girl, the youngest boy, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So and 25 medal, gold medal, 25 silver, and 25 bronze. So we are trying to make people feel that they themselves have achieved and accomplished something, but it's really for their own good, for their health, and this is what we're after.
Yeah, excellent. Given our high rates of diabetes and other NCDCs, such activities critical.
Very much so.
Yeah. What you start at what time?
At 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
I hope they're
And you register on the day?
Excuse me?
Registration is on the day?
No. People have started coming registering and getting their T-shirts and everything already.
Excellent.
So we're going to have the last effort for more. I think we only have about 150 more. So we are doing well in that regard, and the sponsors really came forward to help. So we'll be giving away some medical supplies, and so even things where people can check their heart rate on, how many steps they have made whilst they run. We'll try to give them all these little bits and pieces just to encourage them to take care of themselves.
Excellent. Next Sunday, the 27th, starts at about 6 p.m. at the Cassius Comprehensive School.
6
a.m. all the way up to the ramp in Rodney Bay. There's about 150 packages left. You can visit or call the Saint Lucia Red Cross office. Is correct, Mr. Pierre, to register as quickly as possible. You want people, lastly on the walk, you want people to really participate. It has an important aim as well, and you want to encourage people to desist from taking rides along the way, do the entire 7K route and that sort of thing.
That sort of behavior. So if you were not at the starting point, there is no way you're going to have an armband, and if you get to the end of the race without an armband, you are not going to be given any trophy or any medal.
Yeah, somebody suggested you perhaps should do a short video at the start, but monitoring these sort of activities and even participating. Some people at the start take a ride along the route to get to the finish line, but let's hope good sense prevails next Sunday. Mr. Pierre, before I let you go, I have to tap into that wisdom of yours, that footballing wisdom of yours. St. Lucia is playing host for the very first time to a European club, San Marino, doing considerably well. A 1-1 draw in the first encounter last night. Your views on the hosting first to begin of such a match and the team's initial performance?
Well, it's good to see that something is being done in that regard as far as the St. Lucian team taking the field under the name St. Lucia with, most of the problems that we have had. But, and again, like you have mentioned, it's against a European team, fine, etc. But for me as a planner, I would not play a team that is lower ranked than I am. Because if I get beat, I can be upset and then I drop in the rankings. So if I'm building, I would play a team that is a little stronger than myself, which is ranked a little higher, and that I can test myself as to where I am, etc. From what I'm hearing, or what you just told me, St. Lucia seemed to have held their own for a long, long time. But towards the end, they faltered. and it may be a lack of preparation or something like that in that regard. So we'll go back to the drawing board, see where we faltered, and if it then meant that our players cannot last for the 90 minutes, then there's something we need to do about it. And I mean, we should really work on specific areas of our players.
Yeah.
I've seen some players, their skill sets are very high, but no, the fitness isn't up to what you want. But the skill sets are there, so just a few things to work upon and get them to galvanize themselves and be a really force to be reckoned with, because for me it's also a building process that is taking place in our football.
Yeah, but good that we've been able to give some of these players a little international experience meeting a club like that, despite the rankings.
Yeah. Well, the international, as I said, it is the good thing here for me is to see that the St. Lucia team is taking the field again, with all the past fracasses we had and so on, and maybe it is just a matter of playing a game and playing a friendly and getting back into the football. But for me, if I want to build on my football, I have to play teams that they are higher ranked than me in the FIFA ranking, so that I want to climb the ladder. That's how you do it.
Understood. I hear where you're coming from. I appreciate your insight as always. Look forward to seeing you at Sunday's match and the next opportunity we get to converse here on this platform.
Well, I hope. I think they're playing on Sunday again. If that's correct, I don't know.
Correct.
But, if they're playing on Sunday, I want to go up there and take in the match and see for myself, what is going on, and then I could better not criticize, but as it were, evaluate the given situation. But all the corrective measures to make sure that St. Lucia is back on track, I would like to see them.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks, Mr. Pierre. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, you're welcome, and have a good day, and enjoy your show with your kids, yeah?
Will do, definitely. Mr. Hubert Pierre, the St. Lucia Red Cross, they're now into recovery mode, and they have been on the ground in Corinth, Mark, and some of the other affected communities, providing initial relief. He's now coordinating support regionally for the recovery efforts, and he gave the assurance this morning that everyone who was affected, all families, they will be reached by the St. Lucia Red Cross. It's only a matter of time. The Red Cross also scheduled to host a health and a fun walk next week, Sunday, November the 27th, from the comprehensive school all the way up to Rodney Bay. The route is about 7 kilometers long, and the Red Cross encourages persons to continue to register and participate in that activity. Finally, Mr. Pierre coming in on the 1-1 draw between St. Lucia and San Marino in the very first of two encounters. The second one happens on Sunday. Be sure to come out with your whistles and your St. Lucia colors and support the national team in that international friendly, the second of which happens on Sunday. Save us our time, just about 2 minutes before the hour of 8 o'clock. We conclude on top the hour of 9. My next guest comes in at about 8:15 this morning. We'll be back in just a moment.
Always wanted a motorcycle, but they've been too expensive. I pass in on my way to work, and then boom, I see courts have motorcycles outside. I'm excited. I think his name was Sheena, this short, chubby little guy, you know. I purchased 2 bikes so far. It was the 150 SL and the 250 Dragon. This blue, beautiful AKT TT Dragon. This is my baby. I call her Becky. She gives me the best ride ever. My name is Storyboy Nick, and I live to ride my AKT.
Get your clothes spot. Whiter whites and brighter colors. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. Ultra concentrated formula gives more washes with brightening factors added to keep your clothes looking new. And with the added organic fabric softener, your clothes will be soft and fluffy. Joby antibacterial washing powder is also effective in stain removal for cleaner, brighter, softer clothes with the sweet scent of early spring morning. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. My family, my love, my Joby. Available at supermarkets island-wide. For orders, call 455-3076.
A young man from Bagatelle is dead. He calls on the public to not stigmatize his vehicular accidents along the Bexar Highway. From there, Shannon welcomes the scrutiny of its CI. One man is in police custody following the shooting death of the wife of a police officer.
Look out for the midday news with Daniela Edwin on Hot 7 TV.
Mourning a loss? Hot 7 TV wants to help you celebrate the beautiful memory of your loved one with In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Whether it's a birthday, a wedding anniversary, or some memorable occasion, or the anniversary of the passing of the dearly departed, Hot 7 TV will create a moving video tribute of that special person, showing how much he or she meant to you. Treasured memories, unforgettable moments. Share them with the world and repeat the airing as often as you'd like. Help keep your loved one's memory alive forever in the minds and hearts of all who care. In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Contact us at telephone number 452-6040 or email us at inlovingmemory@caribbeanhottv.com.
Hey St. Lucia, Dylan Edwin here, national record holder for St. Lucia. I invite me to join Shannon Lebourne's show, Good Morning St. Lucia, on Hot 7 TV every morning. Now I'll see you at the finishing line.
All children have the right to equality, even though we're different.
I see a road where I go, where you go.
We have the right to a worthy home and not to live on the streets.
No one knows.
We have the right to feed ourselves and not to starve.
Please keep me warm with your love.
We have the right to be cured by doctors and not to suffer without medicines. We have the right to an education, to go to school, to be able to have a future.
No mistake.
All children are the same, yes, and we have the same rights. But is this true?
I'm gonna fly to you. Oh, I'm not alone with your love. I'm gonna fly to you. Oh, I'm not alone with your love.
Thanks for staying with us. The observance of International Children's Day comes along this coming Sunday, the 20th of November. There's several activities happening. We will share them with you shortly. But World Children's Day, it was first established in 1954 as Universal Children's Day and is celebrated on the 20th of November annually. The aim is to promote international togetherness, awareness amongst children worldwide, and to improve children's welfare. November 20th is also an important date, as it is the date in 1959 when the UN General Assembly adopted the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. It is also the date in 1989 when the UN General Assembly adopted the Convention of the Rights of the Child. Since 1990, World Children's Day also marks the anniversary of the date that the UN General Assembly adopted both the Declaration and the Convention on Children's Rights. Mothers and fathers, teachers, nurses and doctors, government leaders and civil society activists, religious and community leaders, corporate moguls as well, and media professionals, and young people and children themselves can play a very important role to make Children's Day relevant to their societies, communities, and nations on the whole. Children's Day offers each of us an inspirational entry point to advocate, promote, and celebrate children's rights, translating into dialogues and actions that will build a better world for children. This year's theme, inclusion for every child. We will share what's happening locally with you, and my next and final guest on this morning's program, my final guest on this morning's program will be from the Division of Human Services. We'll go in depth on all the issues impacting children, the importance of the celebration as well. But for the next 5 or so minutes, let's just shift the focus slightly to another incident, another observance which happens this weekend, the observance of International Men's Day. You almost wouldn't know that it's upon us again. Yes, International Men's Day happens tomorrow, the 19th of November. Just like International Women's Day and International Children's Day, International Men's Day highlights and celebrates the role and the importance of the man. It also highlights the men's rights as well, issues which confront and face men globally, and it's a big celebration for many societies. Not here in St. Lucia, sadly. We can activate just momentarily our phone lines, give you an opportunity to call us in as we get ready for our next guest. Why is it the case, you think, that the International Men's Day does not attract the sort of pomp and ceremony as is the celebration of International Women's Day, or even lesser so the celebration of International Children's Day? Lots happening this weekend, and lots happening at a number of schools for International Children's Day. And they started their celebrations pretty early, and they will continue throughout the course of today, and the celebrations happen in various locations on Sunday as well. But why here in St. Lucia do we not recognize and see prominence given to International Men's Day, as is the case for International Women's Day. 450-777, our landline number 450-777 or 5840600, 5840600. Okay, we just have to adjust the WhatsApp a bit post Mr. Hubert Pierre's interview. So let's try to handle that quickly and activate the lines as soon as possible. It's a Friday. Good morning to you if you're just waking up and joining us. My next guest should be on in the next 3 or so minutes. The 18th of November, Friday. We're looking ahead to the weekend. It's been a strong and fantastic week thus far. Excellent. Thank you very, very much. And we're ending the week on a strong note, looking ahead to International Men's Day tomorrow and International Children's Day the following day on Sunday. So the phone lines are open. Both the WhatsApp platform has been activated and the landline activated as well. Those numbers 5840600 or 4500777, 4500777. Two more guests on this morning's discussion platform, and we will get to my next one in just a bit. If there aren't any calls down, I think my next guest is already standing by. So let's take a quick commercial break. 10 minutes now after 8 the time. When we return, my very special guest will be on with us. Stay with us. It's Free Up Friday. Thank God it's Friday here on Good Morning St. Lucia.
Today is the day of every girl and every boy who have raised their voice for their rights.
Ooh la la! See what's new at Courts. We've got great deals on living and dining room sets, appliances, electronics, and smart devices, and more. Shop today with no cash using Courts Ready Finance, 3 to 48-month payment plans available. Shop in-store or online at shopcourts.com. Come see what's new and take advantage of these great deals only at Courts. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Mourning a loss? Hot 7 TV wants to help you celebrate the beautiful memory of your loved one with In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Whether it's a birthday, a wedding anniversary, or some memorable occasion, or the anniversary of the passing of the dearly departed, Hot 7 TV will create a moving video tribute of that special person, showing how much he or she meant to you. Treasured memories, unforgettable moments. Share them with the world and repeat the airing as often as you'd like. Help keep your loved one's memory alive forever in the minds and hearts of all who care. In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Contact us at telephone number 452-6040 or email us at inlovingmemory@caribbeanhottv.com.
A young man from Bagatelle is dead. Calls on the public to not stigmatize his fatal accidents along the Bexar Highway leaves Tremendous. Shannon Lebourne welcomes the scrutiny of its CI. One man is in police custody following the shooting death of the wife of a police officer.
Look out for the midday news with Daniela Edwin on Hot 7 TV.
Get your clothes sparkling clean with whiter whites and brighter colors. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. Ultra concentrated formula gives more washes with brightening factors added to keep your clothes looking new. And with the added organic fabric softener, your clothes will be soft and fluffy. Joby antibacterial washing powder is also effective in stain removal for cleaner, brighter, softer clothes with the sweet scent of early spring morning. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. My family, my love, my Joby. Available at supermarkets island-wide. For orders, call 455-3076.
Mourning a loss? Hot 7 TV wants to help you celebrate the beautiful memory of your loved one with In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Whether it's a birthday, a wedding anniversary, or some memorable occasion, or the anniversary of the passing of the dearly departed, Hot 7 TV will create a moving video tribute of that special person, showing how much he or she meant to you. Treasured memories, unforgettable moments. Share them with the world and repeat the airing as often as you'd like. Help keep your loved one's memory alive forever in the minds and hearts of all who care. In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Contact us at telephone number 452-6040 or email us at inlovingmemory@caribbeanhottv.com.
A young man from Bagatelle is dead. Calls on the public to not stigmatize his fatal accident along the Bexar Highway leaves Tremendous. Shannon welcomes the scrutiny of its CI. One man is in police custody following the shooting death of the wife of a police officer.
Look out for the midday news with Daniela Edwin on Hot 7 TV.
Get your clothes sparkling clean with whiter whites and brighter colors. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. Ultra concentrated formula gives more washes with brightening factors added to keep your clothes looking new. And with the added organic fabric softener, your clothes will be soft and fluffy. Joby antibacterial washing powder is also effective in stain removal for cleaner, brighter, softer clothes with the sweet scent of early spring morning. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. My family, my love, my Joby. Available at supermarkets island-wide. For orders, call 455-3076.
Ooh la la! See what's new at Courts. We've got great deals on living and dining room sets, appliances, electronics, and smart devices, and more. Shop today with no cash using Courts Ready Finance, 3 to 48-month payment plans available. Shop in-store or online at shopcourts.com. Come see what's new and take advantage of these great deals. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Massive, this is your boy Moto there, and it's all about Good Morning St. Lucia vibes at sunrise with Shannon Lebourne. Yeah man, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. The thing is always lit on Hot 7 TV. You don't know. Moto endorsing the vibe. You don't know what she like, eh? She like the chicken on the rice, chicken and rice.
Welcome back on this Free Up Friday edition of the program TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. It's been a long and hard week. It's been a strong one as well, and we're winding down the week, looking ahead to the weekend. There's lots happening today, Friday, in 3 particular locations, and I'm talking at 3 particular COTS Unicorn locations, mind you. Marketing officer, Miss Cindy Ann Gilbert, friend of the show. Hi, Cindy Ann. Good morning.
Good morning, Shannon. Good morning, Saint Lucia.
It's a hot Friday with you guys, man. Marisol is loaded with action. Chaussee Road is action. And you have Suki and Sufred today.
Yes, we do. Shannon, it has been a really wonderful month for us. We started out our Black Friday celebrations from October 24th, and we carried through into November. And every single weekend in November is Customer Appreciation weekend. And we do that on a Friday. We celebrate on a Friday and Saturday. And last Friday, we had a really fabulous show over here with DYP performing live for customers. And this week we're going to take it on a little further with another great performance.
You're up in the notch this weekend.
Yes, in our Marisol branch. So today we're having Ricky T, the reigning soca monarch.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean when I say you're up in the notch?
Yes. Our very own Ricky T, Soca Monarch. He will be performing over here at Quartz Marisol at 3 p.m. We also have Armonte, and a lot of people don't know who Armonte is, but he sings Go Gemma. So most people know Go Gemma, right?
I suspect you have a Gemma within your staff at Marisol, that's why you have that artist.
Yes, we do. We have a Gemma on staff but Armonte will be in our stores as well. So great performances by Ricky T and Armonte, and our customers can take advantage of the amazing deals that we have. Black Friday deals up to 70% off. We also in the midst of everything, we're saying thank you to our customers, where we will have prizes. Customers can win prizes, play games, and we also have tickets to C'est La Vie. So customers can win so much today when they shop with us over here at Quartz Marisol. However, we also have some other performances happening in our Soufre store. We have STEAM artists visiting the Soufre store, so we're taking it down to the south. We're in Soufre this afternoon, where some of the artists from STEAM, like Suki, as you mentioned, Asa Banton and Young Brother, they are going to be in the stores, signing autographs, meeting with our customers, and just having a good time down at the Soufre store.
What a wow at Courts today, Friday.
Wow. Yes, so customers in Soufre can take advantage of the wow deals down there as well, and taking all the amazing prizes that to be won. We also have tickets to STEAM down in Soufre. So lucky customers shopping with us today will win tickets to STEAM, as well as other amazing prizes when they visit the store.
Excellent. The big one coming up the press this week, Cindy Ann, was the extension of that offer. You can just take a pic of your old furniture, come into Courts, automatically get 30% off, and you guys have even extended that until the end of the month and every day of the week.
Yes, we have. We've had amazing responses, an amazing response from our customers as it relates to Trade-in Wednesdays. And some customers are asking for an extension, and some customers haven't taken the opportunity to come in and shop as yet, simply because it happens every Wednesday and their schedule does not permit. We have extended our trading days. It would carry on from now till November 30th. So our customers can come in every single day and take advantage of the Trade-in Wednesdays, where they can get 30% off the new piece, 30%. And mind you, Shannon, the customer does not have to return the furniture across to courts. We know in most cases we deliver the furniture across to your home, so we're taking away that stress. All you need to do is to ask about Trade-in Wednesdays and show us a picture of that old furniture piece. So we have trade-ins applicable to our dining, living, and bedroom furniture right now.
Excellent. Give us some of the specials that are currently available in store, Cindy Ann.
Okay, so we have lots of doorbuster deals happening right now. We have our doorbuster deals where customers can come in, purchase items, blenders for as low as $159. We have mixers for as low as $299 as well. We have some of our big ticket items like our washers in store right now for only $1,999. So customers can come in and purchase their Whirlpool washer for as low as $1,999. Imagine that. We also have offers on our Ashley furniture where customers purchasing an Ashley dining piece, and that's the Britson dining piece for only $2,199 can get a free display unit for only a free display unit worth $699. So Shannon, that's absolutely great deals in store. And again, we're saying to our customers, come on down, shop now. There's no need to wait till November 25th, which is official Black Friday.
You get the deals throughout the month.
Get the throughout the month. We're giving you that price guarantee, definitely giving you the price guarantee. And the price guarantee for some of our customers who don't know, we're saying to you, we're encouraging you to shop now through December 31st, knowing that you will get the lowest price every single time. If you see the same item on sale later in the store for a lower price, we will refund you
110% difference. That's putting your money by your word.
Definitely, that's what we do here at Courts. And so we're encouraging our customers to take advantage of all the Black Friday deals, doorbuster deals happening right now. We have our TCL 32-inch television starting at $599. We also have our Samsung television starting as low as $999. So come on down, take advantage of the deals in store right now.
Excellent. Well done, Cindy. Just to wrap up, Courts Marisol, you have the Go Jenna Man, and the Groovy King, Ricky T. And in Soufre, the man who gets wet and wild, Asa Bantan, Suki, who I know is a big favorite of yours for whatever reason, and your brother.
Of mostly every Saint Lucian right now, Shannon, and they love Suki, so they can come on down to Courts in Soufre and get their autographs, meet and greet Suki. We also have our clearance sale happening at Courts Chaussee today from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. so our customers can come on down, take advantage of the clearance deals happening at the Courts Chaussee.
You see, since you skipped to Soufre, I thought Courts Chaussee was no longer happening, but there's a clearance sale at the Courts Chaussee car park 9 to 4 today.
Yes, in the parking lot. So it's happening today. So we have lots of actions for all of our customers, something for everyone to take advantage of.
Excellent. Cindy, and always a pleasure seeing you. I didn't ask in advance, but in keeping it the spirit of customer appreciation, I know you'll hook us up, if not two, but at least one of those Suki tickets so we can give away to our customers before we end at 9 o'clock. You let me know how much.
Okay, Shannon.
Thank you so much. Marketing officer over at Unicom Court St. Lucia, Cindy Ann Gilbert. Always nice having you on here.
Always nice speaking to you, Shannon, and speaking to the widest St. Lucian public. Yes.
We'll talk again soon.
Yes, definitely. Bye-bye.
Cindy Ann Gilbert. So let me just recap quickly in case you missed it. From 3 p.m. today, Ricky T and the Go Jenna Man, customer appreciation, they're going to be at Marisol. From 9 this morning, as soon as I get off, I go down to the Chaussee Road because from 9 to 4, there's a big sale, clearance sale at the Courts Chaussee Road parking lot. And if you're in the south, Sulphur City Soufriere comes alive with steam tomorrow, Saturday. Suki, Asa Banton, and Young Brother, they will be at the Courts outlet in Soufriere this afternoon. Come get your autographs. You can come win tickets as well and come benefit from some door buster deals. All happening today, Friday, at Courts, bringing value home.
Ooh la la! See what's new at Courts. We've got great deals on living and dining room sets, appliances, electronics, and smart devices, and more. Shop today with no cash using Courts Ready Finance, 3 to 48-month payment plans available. Shop in store or online at shopcourts.com. Come see what's new and take advantage of these great deals. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Mourning a loss? Hot 7 TV wants to help you celebrate the beautiful memory of your loved one with In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Whether it's a birthday, a wedding anniversary, or some memorable occasion, or the anniversary of the passing of the dearly departed, Hot 7 TV will create a moving video tribute of that special person, showing how much he or she meant to you. Treasured memories, unforgettable moments. Share them with the world and repeat the airing as often as you'd like. Help keep your loved one's memory alive forever in the minds and hearts of all who care. In Loving Memory, Celebrating Lives. Contact us at telephone number 452-6040 or email us at inlovingmemory@caribbeanhottv.com.
A young man from Bagatelle is dead. Calls on the public to not stigmatize his fatal accidents along the Bexar Highway. From Shannon welcomes the scrutiny of its CI. One man is in police custody following the shooting death of the wife of a police officer.
Look out for the midday news with Daniela Edwin on Hot 7 TV.
Get your clothes sparkling clean with whiter whites and brighter colors. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. Ultra concentrated formula gives more washes with brightening factors added to keep your clothes looking new. And with the added organic fabric softener, your clothes will be soft and fluffy. Joby antibacterial washing powder is also effective in stain removal for cleaner, brighter, softer clothes with the sweet scent of early spring morning. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. My family, my love, my Joby. Available at supermarkets island-wide. For orders, call 455-3076.
Ready for the road. Yo, St. Lucia, it's your boy Pablo saying a wonderful good morning to you wherever you are. And don't forget, every weekday on Hot 7 from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. something called Vibes at Sunrise with your boy Shannon Lebourne. Tune in to keep informed on the latest news and everything going around in the country. You don't know the vibes. Pablo in the building.
Welcome back on this Friday edition of the program. Thank God it's Friday. My next guest is already on standby, and I will bring her on shortly. But before we end at 9 o'clock this morning, we'll give away a ticket or two to that event happening in Soufriere tomorrow, Saturday. Steam We'll tell you lots more before we leave at 9, and I will also give away those tickets as well. Joining me now on the Flow video line, Miss Leah Gorin. Miss Gorin is a social worker at the Department of Human Services. She took up duties at the department in 2009, and in 2010 she assumed an acting appointment as a family case worker at the Department of Human Services. She has also served in various capacities within the department, and as part of her duties, she has provided support to sexual health and the disease clinic in the island. From 2014 to present, she has been assigned to the foster care and adoption unit. Today we will discuss with her facilitating holistic growth and development towards a child-friendly future as we look ahead to International Children's Day this coming Sunday. Ms. Gorin, thanks for being patient and welcome to the platform.
Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. Our pleasure to have you on here this morning. Sunday, a very important observance. Let's start there. Why is it important for us to pause annually and highlight our children and celebrate children as part of the international observance?
We need to recognize that children are important. Without children, there's no continuity for society. It's important to also recognize that children have a voice. While they are young and we probably consider them to be immature, they have opinions and their opinions matter.
Thanks for going there. I will go deeper there in just a while, but the United Nations Convention on the Rights of a Child has been adopted. Saint Lucia is party to that convention. What are some of the fundamental components of it?
So the UN Convention of the Rights of the Child really encourages and advocates that children are citizens. They are vulnerable citizens and have opinions, and require that their needs be met by responsible adults in a holistic approach. So essentially you have articles under the convention that would guide that focus for children.
Excellent. What are some of the focus areas and articles?
Okay, so children have a right to healthcare, adequate healthcare. They have a right to education. They have a right to social activities, things of that nature. But I also want to highlight that with all the rights spoken about that children have, these rights come with responsibility for children. We don't just advocate that yes, they have rights, but we have a responsibility to teach children that with these rights, you have a responsibility on their part to access these rights.
Excellent. We'll talk about some of those responsibilities which are attached to the rights which children have. But do you get a sense that there is sufficient awareness, and are we upholding the provisions enshrined in the convention?
Okay, that's two questions you're asking me here. So is there sufficient awareness? I would say there is not sufficient awareness. A few years ago, there was a campaign run where it was on television advertisements of the rights of the child, radio broadcast, and so on. What happens at our department, you would find that periodically through the year, caseworkers within the regions would visit their schools and, speak with children on that level of their rights, responsibilities, child abuse, and how to make a report or speak to an adult if something is uncomfortable for you. But in terms of mass media, we are lacking and falling short here in terms of presenting these rights to the public, making citizens aware of what it stands, what it represents. And your second question was, are we keeping apprised?
Yeah, are we keeping fulfilling the articles under the convention, basically?
Okay, so St. Lucia is making strides. We're making steps. We are not on board with a full ratification of that convention, but there have been steps to meeting that compliance throughout the years. The recent one was passing of the Child Care Protection and Adoption Act, but within that act there is some shortcomings as well.
But we appreciate it's a work in process, and at least there is that commitment to ensure that the full convention is ratified here on the island. When you examine this year's theme for Universal International Children's Day, the theme Inclusion for Every Child, what does this theme say?
So when we say inclusion for every child, we look at children on a racial basis, a background basis. So we're speaking about access, we're speaking about culture, we're speaking about traditions, we're speaking about healthcare. So we want to advocate again and make awareness so that persons can identify some of the areas that children need their support in, because one agency cannot do it alone. If all citizens rally together and make this a goal, it can eventually be achieved. When you look at the transition from Victoria Hospital to OKEU running as a statutory body, there are concerns as to access, not just for children, but for everybody. And children are one of our vulnerable populations. So these are things that we are looking at and monitoring to see how it's going to impact our children as, that process finalizes.
Yeah. You, as part of the celebrations, the department under which you serve, you've put together Blue Ribbon Day.
Yes.
What's the focus really?
Blue is the international color for child abuse. So with the blue ribbon, we're signaling an awareness that child abuse is still rampant on the island, but also bringing out the children to participate in it, letting them know that there are safe ways that they can report, that they can go to teachers, they can go to their principals, counselors, etc. to report uncomfortable situations.
You pointed to the abuse, but what are some of the other major challenges and issues surrounding children here on St. Lucia?
Major challenges. When it comes to the report, you always encounter fear, okay? Because children are groomed by predators for whatever form of abuse it is. To get them into a comfortable space, they probably are threatened as well. So sometimes it is a difficult process for them to trust the person that they are reporting to keep them safe and also to keep them away from the person causing harm. Another challenge would be our laws. If a child is reporting sexual abuse, and if the mother is not agreeing to press charges, the police cannot continue with charging that person. I remember several years ago when we had the former TPP, Mrs. Veronica Charles. She made a statement to that effect on the news that these are one of the roadblocks to carrying on and charging perpetrators. When you still have this thing in our law where it says that the child is a minor and has to have the guardian or custodian represent them in making that decision.
Excellent.
So augmenting of our laws would certainly help with carrying on justice for our children.
A revision of those laws critical, you're saying, at this particular time. When you look at the agencies that provide care and support for children, do you think that these agencies receive the sufficient resources, and are they prioritized enough in our national agenda?
I would not say that they are prioritized. While the agencies that provide care for children receive support, when you consider the intervention that is needed to provide to these children and the resources it would take, we are falling short. We are falling short on all aspects. The Child Care Protection and Adoption Act and the Domestic Violence passed earlier this year speaks to human services providing counseling for children facing trauma or abuse as a result of, circumstances. The Division of Human Services does not currently have counselors within their structure. So it is not something that can be funded by the government of St. Lucia. So this is something that we are struggling with at this point in time. Any child, just think of it as an adult. You go through trauma. You would require some help to get through a point of restoration. And we are certainly missing that mark for our children.
The counseling, the shortfall in the number of counselors that we have attached to the department, and even nationally, the availability of trained counselors continues to be a concern. How about safe spaces, homes away from the home? Are we improving there in the availability of such safe spaces?
I would not say there's an improvement, but we are making small strides. Under the division, we have the New Beginnings Transit Home, which is a safe space for children who have faced extreme forms of abuse. And it has a limited capacity. And not just in numbers, but then depending on the presentation of the children placed there, they may not be able to accommodate their full capacity. Because of the requirements for supervision for these children. Aside from the residential institutions, when you look at individual homes, persons opening up their hearts and homes to a child in need, that in itself is a challenge as well. And, persons often come forward wanting to provide care for a child who's maybe below 2, below 3. But as you start to get older, persons are not willing to take on that responsibility, and it does come with a challenge, so that as well is understandable.
Given some of those challenges, the number of counselors that are needed vis-a-vis that are available vis-a-vis the need, do you think it's a point now, have we reached to a point now in St. Lucia where it's time to hit that red alarm button and really begin to put in place the systems and resources necessary to protect our children?
We have been hitting that red alarm button for as long as I've been working at the department. Moving from, Miss Clementia Eugene, who I started, who was the director when I joined. Then you went from her to Mrs. Louis and now Miss Poyet. These things have always been raised at family caseworkers meeting, at supervisory level meetings, at head of department meetings. I am not sure what it will take for policymakers to grasp the needs of this population and what it takes to present the necessary intervention to help them recover, to provide a foundation that will take them into positive, independent, functioning members of society.
Listening to you, it's the willpower that's what's needed. I want to go back to something that you mentioned in your preamble. Whereas we view children as younger than adults, obviously there is an age difference there, but you made the point from the onset that despite the age of a child, they have rights. That is not often appreciated in society like ours, you think?
I don't think that it's not appreciated. I think what we see is that there's a defense, coming from, the adult population, that yes, children have rights, but that does not mean that you don't train your child to respect adults, to respect rules, to respect, authority. These ideals and mannerisms are taught in the family. We know that family is the basic unit of society. This is where a child starts his or her education, and that is where they grow from. Saying that the child has rights does not mean that the adults don't have rights and they don't have responsibility. It is a two-way relationship, if you want to look at it as a partnership. Mm-hmm. Because when a child comes from a family, you don't raise that child for a family. The child eventually has to go out to school, go out to work, and have to interact with other members of society. So how do we prepare them to function? How do we prepare them to be lawful, functioning citizens of society?
Yeah. And you were also making the point that whereas children have rights, they have responsibilities as well. Balance of the argument, what are some of the responsibilities of a child?
Okay, so let's take one, I think that's very popular, especially with pubescents and teenagers. Mm-hmm. They have a right to privacy, right? So you have a right to privacy, but with that privacy comes responsibilities. There are inappropriate websites and social media platforms that are not appropriate for children. And while you have some that are inappropriate, you also have some that come in a subtle manner, where children are, fished in to some inappropriate conduct. I remember a few years ago there was this game that was popular. I don't remember what it was right now, but within that game an ad would pop up with a scary Asian looking kind of creature asking children to get into a suicidal pact. Now, you want your privacy, you want to be able to do things, but adults have a responsibility to protect children. So when your parents indicate to you, that you have certain boundaries to operate within your rights, you have a responsibility to listen and to be obedient, because as anything else, you are a child. You are not fully developed physically. And part of the physical component is your brain. The science teaches us that the human brain accomplishes its development at age 24. So not even when you turn 18, which is our current standing for attaining majority or maturity, that you are able to go ahead. It's important that we help children to understand that even when you grow older, we don't know it all. The experiences that one person has when they're 65 can be more than someone who's just 21. There are things that they have faced that they have not yet experienced. So it's important that we teach our children and help them to understand, these basic skills.
Excellent. Oftentimes when we speak abuse of a child, we often relate it to sexual abuse. But there are other forms of abuse which impact children significantly as well, neglect and others. Can you point to some of the other forms which continue to present themselves to your department?
Okay, so we have psychological abuse, we have physical abuse, we have abandonment. Abandonment and neglect usually go together. And you can also have medical abuse if the child is not or is restricted from having that access by their primary care provider, mother, father, whoever it may be. That is a form of abuse.
To close, your final message to parents in particular and the general society on the verge of another observance of International Children's Day. What is your message to our Saint Lucia?
So I believe that all persons who have a responsibility or employment within the area where children are, we need to understand and remember that we all were once children. We may not share the same experiences, but they may be similar. And if we remember some of those experiences, good and bad, I think it will develop an empathetic approach to how we treat children and how we address the issues and what we see before us. If persons can have that mind shift, we can all be a helpline for every child who has, issues or difficulty that they may need assistance with.
Perfect icing on the cake. Remember once that you were a child. I think that will go a long way in how we deal with children. Ms. Gorin, I want to thank you for coming on. Happy International Children's Day to you ahead of time. And thank you to you and your department for agreeing to be here and for the service that you extend to the children of St. Lucia.
Thank you for having me, and I note that you're in blue, so thank you for participating in the awareness.
Thanks for noticing. You're most welcome, and we'll talk again soon.
All right, take care.
From the Department of Human Services, my very special guest today, ending our series on and focus on children, the rights of a child, the responsibility of a child, challenges facing children, the opportunities that are available for children here in St. Lucia. Don't forget, Sunday the 20th is International Children's Day. Let's make it good. Let's make it a happy occasion for all of our children. On Saturday is International Men's Day. I hope I could say the same, but there's not much happening in our St. Lucia. We still extend big up and greetings to all the men of our society. Important role, man. There's no society without a man. Don't forget, just about 5 minutes before 9, we take a quick break. When I come back, we'll have some tickets to give away. We're talking team Idonia Suki, Young Brother, and Asabantan, 3 of whom already on St. Lucia. They're going to be at Court Soufre this afternoon. We have a ticket to give away right after this.
Ooh la la! See what's new at Courts. We've got great deals on living and dining room sets, appliances, electronics, and smart devices, and more. Shop today with no cash using Courts Ready Finance, 3 to 48-month payment plans available. Shop in store or online at shopcourts.com. Come see what's new and take advantage of these great deals only at Courts. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Get your clothes sparkling clean with whiter whites and brighter colors. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. Ultra concentrated formula gives more washes with brightening factors added to keep your clothes looking new. And with the added organic fabric softener, your clothes will be soft and fluffy. Joby antibacterial washing powder is also effective in stain removal for cleaner, brighter, softer clothes with the sweet scent of early spring morning. Use Joby antibacterial washing powder. My family, my love, my Joby. Available at supermarkets island-wide. For orders, call 455-3076.
Good morning, St. Lucia. Vibes at sunrise. An informative, enlightening, stimulating package. It can be taken as your morning cup of tea. Fortuna Anthony endorsing Vibes in the Morning.
Welcome back. Happy Friday. We're getting set for the weekend. The eve of the weekend is here, November the 18th. Good morning and hi to our friends over at Courts, the warehouse in Marseille, and all the Courts outlets. Good morning to hardworking staff on the floor and the management as well. Thank you so much, and happy Friday to each and everyone at the Courts outlets island-wide. They bring in value home, especially during this Christmas season. Good morning as well to the fantastic staff at the Sol petrol stations island-wide. The big one for me is the Sol station up at Groseley. The staff are always so friendly and helpful. You stop to get a full up, and they take care of your windscreen. They're always so friendly. Some of the gas stations, you have to fill up a full tank, to get your windscreen cleaned done. But with Sol, you just go in, and the staff at Sol, they're always so friendly. They don't take a full tank for you to get excellent service from the staff. So big shout out to the Sol petrol stations, and if you fueling up this weekend, fuel up with Sol and go further. Dan, you didn't remind me, but I'll remind you on Monday why food cooks and tastes a lot better when you cook it with Sol gas. I'll remind you on Monday. Let's give away that ticket now. Compliments our friends at Unicommer, Courts St. Lucia Limited. They are sponsors of the events team happening in Soufrière. Soufrière is going to be steamy tomorrow, Saturday. It's going to feature from Dominica, Asa Banton, the Booyah boss, Asa Banton. He's already on St. Lucia. And for the very first time, Suki. What a wow. Suki is going to perform in Soufrière tomorrow. Young brother, Heaven on Earth. Yeah, he's going to be there as well. Young brother is going to be performing as well. And the big one, dancehall superstar Idonia will be performing live at that events team. We have a ticket to give away. Compliments our sponsors, Courts, and we will do so right now. Just pull up the question quickly, Don. Right. You already have a call. Just hold on. Just hold on. Let's free up the phone lines and try again, Don. Yeah. Just free up the phone lines and we'll try again. Perhaps they're holding on for the question. Perhaps they're holding on for the question. Let me just pull up. It's a big event. It apparently looks like. Don, you going? Kay, you going down there? You going to Steam? Don says no, not his cup of tea. Michael Bolton, you would be there, right? Not Don's cup of tea, but it's a steamy event happening tomorrow. Idonia, Young Brother, Suki, Asa Banton, and a host of the best of the best from St. Lucia as well. Big shout out to Courts. Cindy, and I'm going to use this one. Courts now has their Black Friday promotion on. Several doorbuster deals are available. Cindy and spoke to them. Make it simple. When does the Black Friday doorbuster deals end at Courts? Again, the question: when does the Black Friday doorbuster deals end at Courts? 4500777 4500777. When does Black Friday doorbuster deals end at Courts? Our question. We have just about a minute or so before we conclude the program. Give us a call, 4500777 4500777 with the correct answer, and then we will hook you up with a ticket to the show's team. Compliments our sponsors, Courts, Unicommer, and we say a very, very special hello and thank you to each and everyone at Courts. Good morning to the regional artists who are already on here. welcome to our St. Lucia. Issa Banton is no stranger here. Suki's here as well, and young brother. Welcome to St. Lucia. We know it's going to be a fantastic opportunity for you. Anybody on the phone line? We have 4500777. I'm told we have somebody on the phone line. Can we patch the calls through so we can close? Just about 60 seconds left. So the question once again, when does the Courts Black Friday doorbuster deals end? When does the Courts Black Friday? Thanks so much, Kate. Let's put the caller on. Friday. Thanks so much, Kate. Let's put the caller on. Good morning, welcome to the platform.
Good morning, it's November 30th.
November 30th. Yeah, that's correct. It is November 30th. Congratulations, caller. Just turn down the volume on turn down. You heard that, Kate? Oh my, the person is ready. Just turn down the volume and hold the phone lines. Kay and my technical producers will take your information off the air. Thanks so much. Excited caller and viewer. Thank you, Courts, for making one of our viewers happy, as you could have told from that. Yay! Somebody's going to steam. Don says it's not his kettle of fish. But we'll be in Sulphur City, Soufriere, tomorrow for Idonia in particular, Issa Banton, young brother, and Suki. The bar is extremely high. Let me tell you, Suki, the anticipation is real high for you tomorrow. So St. Lucians are looking forward to that performance as well. On Sunday, we go to Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds for the final matchup, St. Lucia versus San Marino. This coming Sunday at Darren Sammy. Get your tickets, bring your flags, bring your whistles and your St. Lucia colors as well. Let's support our national team. Shanoy Evans and all the boys, they've been doing great thus far. They had a 1-1 draw last evening. They should have gone all the way and beat San Marino, but the legs got a bit tired towards the end of that encounter, and they allowed a last-minute goal, a last-minute equalizing goal from San Marino last evening at Darren Sammy. Big shout out to our goal scorer, man. We have to big him up. He's been in fine form all throughout Black Hat, and now making his call up into the national team. Donovan Javatis, our number 20, Donovan Javatis, who remains in fine form. He scored the opening goal for Team St. Lucia. Donovan Javatis, he's in action again with the entire squad this coming Sunday. Get your ticket, St. Lucia, and make it a lime this Sunday, Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds. God willing, we'll be back on Monday with another exciting show. Have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend. Bye-bye for now.